welcome back. Well, I guess I should say, welcome to the first episode of Stronghold Saga Season 1. I had a episode filmed already, but thank you, Apple, I lost all the footage. So this is actually episode 2, but it's the first one uploaded to YouTube. So let me give a quick breakdown as to what happened here. So I'm playing a year-long game where I'm trying to build a stronghold. That's the ultimate goal. Every single game I play, the characters could die, new characters might come in and take their place, but the story of the world is actually the story of the game, hence Stronghold Saga. Nobody who has ever been to the town of Great Barrow would ever use the word great to describe it. Even those who gave the small collection of buildings its names have long abandoned it to its fate, and now only passing adventurers visit as they stop in for rest on their way to greater destinations. History has written off Great Barrow, but one simple half-elf bard wants to change that. The local tavern, named the Star Above the Garter, is his home, and over the next year it is his mission to put the great back into Great Barrow, or better yet, have it named after himself. David Avonleaf wants to leave a legacy, and having a city called Avonleaf is that legacy. It also wouldn't hurt to have a statue of him built in the center as well. Let's review what happened last time. David was playing for a good week in the local tavern there, the Star Above the Garter, and he overheard some adventurers telling legends, which were generated with the Forbidden Lands Legends and Adventures generator. The legends were this: he overheard that a very moral prince, looking for an enemy because of war, traveled to a ruins far away in some mountains east of here. Legend says that the prince starved to death, leaving behind a suit of glorious armor, but also a murderous wolfkin. Legend 2, an evil priest looking for love because of war, who traveled to a cave located close by in the plains east of here. Legend says that the priest was possessed and is guarding a large treasure, but also has a band of bloodthirsty thieves protecting it. So since this is a solo adventure, David decided he wanted to go after the prince who starved to death, leaving behind the armor. So David left Great Barrow, went through some plains, and ended up in a mountain range. While there, he was approached by a woman who was road-worn and needed help getting back to town. Being the great bard that he is and wanting to have tales of being a hero, he decided to help this woman go back to Great Barrow. So they went back through the plains, and while they were camping out, they got ambushed by 2 zombies, and he was able to dispatch both of the zombies before returning back to the town. Where the zombies came from, he's not sure, but there was, from both legends, there was mention of war to the east. Maybe these zombies are the fallen soldiers coming back and they're approaching Great Barrow. I don't know. Since this is a solo role-playing game, I actually have no idea how this story plays out. I discover it as you do. As he got back into the town, he discovered that this woman he helped is a woman named Dogmora. She is a very short halfling, and she used to be a jailer. When her husband passed away, she decided she wanted to see the world rather than stay in the local town that she was in, and she went traveling, and that's when she got lost in the mountains. Now that she's back into Great Barrow, she's employed by us to be the next law enforcement, sheriff, jailer, judge, whatever you want. And that's our first NPC in the town of Great Barrow. Now, Pathfinder's Ultimate Campaign book has a really interesting downtime rules that I'm going to be using to help generate what happens throughout the actual week. Now, I do want to try to perform and earn some money at the local tavern, but for now, we are going to turn to the downtime abilities. Since this is technically the first game, I'm not going to bother doing any of the upkeep phases and so forth, and the income phases. I'm going to go straight to the event phase. So how it works is I got a 20% chance of generating a random event. Every day that I don't generate an event, the odds go up by 5%, meaning that eventually you're going to have a random event that takes place. So in order to figure this out, I've got my percentile, and if I roll under 20%, then guess what? I have a random event. So let's do this first. The last day that I played was January 8th, and today's date is January 22nd. I'm keeping track of the dates for a very specific reason. The game itself constantly keeps moving forward even when I'm not playing the game. So in this case, I would have to actually assume that something happened on January 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, all the way up to the 22nd. So there's a big chance that things are going to happen here. So since the 8th was the last day I played, that leaves a total of 14 days, including today. So let's start off with day number 1. So day number 1, I actually roll a 1. So how am I going to keep track of this? Let's do it like this. All right, so first day, nothing. Second day goes up to 25%. 40. Oh, actually, no, I rolled a 1, so that means I'm under the 20%. That means I actually have an event that took place on day 1. Oh, wow, okay. So I guess the question is, did the event happen in my tavern or not? Because I got downtime events for a tavern as well. So let's go ahead and consult the Mythic Oracle here. My chaos factor is currently 5. So I'm going to give it just a 50-50 chance between having it just a random event in town or my tavern. So if something happens in my tavern, that's going to make things happen. And when you're using Mythic, you want to ask questions that are going to cause action or make things more difficult. So did what happened happen in my tavern? At 50-50 chances, I draw 1 card, and if it's a yes, so it's an exceptional no, but because I don't have anything to really explain that exceptional right now, I'm going to just say it as a standard no. It's a town event. So let's see what our general town event is. 71. 71 is rumor mongering. People are talking about you. Attempt a DC 20 diplomacy check. On a success, word spreads far that your presence in the region is valuable and welcome, and you gain 1 die 4 points of influence. On a failure, the rumors are not so complimentary. Ooh, I gotta roll high for a DC 20. Here we go. 16 plus 6 is 22. Yes, all right. So I do pass. So people are starting to hear about me. Okay, so let's make a note of event rumor mongering. I'm just gonna write down rumor. Pass. Okay, so I gain 1 die 4 of influence. So let's grab my die 4 from here. And I rolled a 3, so I get 3 influence. Until I figure out where to put the influence on which pages, I'm just going to write it down here. Influence, I'm at 3. Excellent, that works out great. So people are starting to hear about Great Barrow. People are talking about how I helped that woman get back, and she's a just and fair law enforcement officer. Okay, so that was day 1. So let's go with day 2. So again, the odds reset back down to 20. So let's see. 35, so nothing for 2. 3, now we're up to 25%. 34, nope. Day 4. So this is 40%, and I rolled 5. So we have an event that takes place. Now, let's find out, is it at the tavern or is it at the town? So is it at the tavern? Here we go, 50-50 chance again. So it's an exceptional yes. So yeah, it definitely happened at the tavern. So let's go to our tavern and see what happened here. Exceptional. So whatever happens, it's gonna be big, is what it means. So I'm looking at 33. It's a bar brawl. 1 insult against someone's lineage or beard or beauty, and the next thing you know, there's a fight. Word of the brawl helps spread your tavern's infamy. You gain 1d4 of influence. Okay, so let's find out how much influence I actually get here. I roll another 3. Okay. So it's actually 6 now. Attempt a DC 20 intimidate check. Uh-oh. I don't think I'm very... Oh, actually, I do have it because of my charisma modifier, so I get another 6 on that. All right, so 9 and 6 is 15. I fail. Uh-oh. If you fail, you lose 1 die 3 points of goods, labor, and magic because of damage to your building. Oh, no. Okay, so I got to do a D3. Let's see how much. So it's a die 6 divided by 2. Round it up. So, okay, so 1. That's good. So I'm going to say I lost that in my gold. 1 gold point worth of damage. Now, it's exceptional, though. It was an exceptional yes. So I'm going to say I'm going to have to roll that twice. So I lost 1 gold, 4, so I lost a total of 3 gold on that. Because 4 divided by 2 is 2 and 1 is 3, so that brings me back down to, oh man, 34 for now. Okay, so I mean, I'm still pretty good with the money. It's not too bad. Now we're on, that was day 5, I believe. So here we go, day 6. Back to 20%. So 63, that's good. Day 7. Oh, 20% right off the bat. So day 7, there is an event. Okay. 7. So, it is at the tavern again. It is at the tavern again. Uh-oh. 48. It's another bar brawl. All right, so I gain more influence because my infamy is going up, and I gain another 2. So I'm up to 8 for influence. That's good. And I got to do another intimidate check plus 6. Another 16, so I actually passed this time. Okay, so bar brawl breaks out. Try saying that 20 times fast. And the bard gets up there and starts, you know, I don't want to say he's performing, but, you know, he's very vocal. He's an orator. He's powerful with his voice. So he gets up there and he starts to intimidate and talk down the fight, and the fight just goes away. But people know that the Star Above the Garter is a place if you want action. That people know that is. Wow. Yep. If you want action, go to the Star Above the Garter. Okay. So now we are resetting again. So another bar brawl, but this time it was a pass. Okay, so day 8. Back to 20%. 22. Ooh, close one. Day 9. 48. Passes again. We're up to 30% for day 10. 46 is a pass. Day 11. So 7. So 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's going to be 20. So 20, 30, 40, so I'm at 40%. 38, okay, so an event takes place on day 11. Now, again, is it a bar fight or something like that? It is. It is. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so another thing happening at the bar. Come on, let's say there's something good going on here. 55. Okay, so a rousing performance. Well, I think this is right up my alley here. A talented bard, I'm going to say David, gives a rousing performance at your tavern, delighting your customers. You gain a die 3 of influence. Okay, get that die 3. So that means I rolled a 3, so 3 divided by 2 rounded up is 2, so I'm at 10 influence now. Delight your customers. You gain 1 die 3 points of influence. Your building gets a plus 20 bonus on its next check to generate capital. And there's a 25% chance the bar's performance triggers a shenanigan event. Uh-oh. Okay, so plus 20% to generate capital. And a 25% chance. Ooh, does my song cause people to do shenanigans? Here we go. 12. Yes, it does. All right. In some businesses, shenanigans would be considered a scandal, but in a tavern, these activities are a boon. Oh, good. Perhaps someone important met with a prostitute, or maybe someone's spouse got a little friendly with an employee. Attempt a bluff or diplomacy check. Uh-oh. Okay, so this bluff or diplomacy. I don't think I'm going to go bluff. I'm going to go diplomacy, which is 6. So my DC is actually going to be 20 plus a die 6. So let's see here. So 26. Oh, man. Okay, so I literally have to roll a natural 20 in order to succeed this. Here we go. 12. I saw the 20, but nope. If you succeed, I do not. If you fail, there are no negative repercussions for you or your business. I wanted to fail. Oh my goodness, that's awesome. Okay, so whatever dirty deeds done dirt cheap, what happens at the star above the garter stays at the star above the garter. All right, well, that's good. Okay, so browsing performance, pass, shenanigan, fail. I'm happy that I failed that. Okay, so now we're on to day 12. Coming to the end of our week here. A lot has happened so far. So back to 20%. 46, nope, doesn't happen. Day 13, up to 25%. No, that's 100. Wow. Nice. Okay, so nothing happens in that. And now we are on day 14, which is technically today. So let's see if anything happens today. 93. Nope, it's been a quiet week. Okay, so for the past 2 weeks, a lot has actually happened at the town of Great Barrow. So people started talking about the town, especially the fact that I was able to rescue Dog Mora and bring her back. It's gaining itself as a reputation of a town for heroes. Of course, because there's this reputation about heroes being there, a lot of adventurers have now come to Great Barrow, and we ended up having our first big bar brawl at the bar. Like pretty much everything happened at the tavern. That's interesting, except for the first one. Either way, the bar brawl was nasty and caused some damage, which I was able to fix. A couple days later, though, another bar brawl took place, but I was ready this time. And I was able to shoot that down right away. Nobody was doing any more damage to the star. That's the thing. And then finally, on the end of the week here, as we're getting close to this adventure, I gave a rousing performance, which has inspired people even more, and upped the influence of my town. And I've actually, when I do my generate capital, which I'll probably do next game session, I get to add 20% to my roll to generate that because they love the performance so much that they just kept spending money and they weren't even aware. The best qualities of a bard. Now, I mean, it's legal stealing. Thieves should learn from bards. And there were some shenanigans that took place, but what happens at the star above the garter stays at the star above the garter. Okay, so now we need to generate. Now we've got to decide. I was going on this quest to try to track down this prince, and this prince had died and left behind this suit of armor. Now at the time when I was playing the game, I didn't actually have the Ultimate Campaign book. So when I was mapping it out, I was using sort of a rudimentary hex crawl rule system, which basically said that each hex is 6 miles. You can move 3 miles per hour as per the Pathfinder 1 edition core rulebook. So that would mean each hex would take 2 miles to move through. But then I got this wonderful book. And in this book here, there is some awesome travel rules for hex crawling. Now, in these rules, which I'm now going to switch to, it actually says that 1 hex, for me, if I'm just traveling through, it's going to take me 5 hours. So that means I can move 2 hexes, through 1 hex and then into another hex and stop it there. Or if I'm exploring it, it's going to take me a full day. Oh, I should do my generate revenue. That's what I should do. I get to do a perform check. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how much money I can make in a day. Wow, influence is actually really good. Influence has an earned cost of 15 GP per point, so that's actually really good to know. Okay, so I think in that case then, I'm going to use influence, and I did 2 weeks worth, so I'm going to do 2 skill checks. I'm going to do 2 perform checks to figure out how much I've actually earned, and according to the generate capital, I get plus 22%. Now, here's the thing. What was that about the shenanigans? You gain 1 die 3 of influence. Your building gains plus 20 bonus on its next check to generate capital. Plus 20 bonus. That's awesome. I thought it was 20%, not 20 bonus. Wow. Okay, so it's not 20%, it's plus 20. Which is important because the way you generate influence and all this is done up a little different in this game. And I gotta like mark these pages. So I get a plus 20 for, I think that was in the 2nd week. You know what, it was day 7, but I'm gonna say that day 1 started on the 9th. So I'm gonna say this was the 2nd week. So the 1st week is just gonna be a standard D20 plus your character level plus your highest ability modifier minus 5. Now, I can take a 10 on this if I want. Your highest ability modifier. So it'd be 20. My highest modifier is 2. So it actually would be a die 20 because I'm subtracting 5. I would actually be a die 20 minus 3. So I need to hit at least 13 in order to gain anything in the 1st week. Well, let's give it a try. Here we go. So 5. So in the 1st week, I literally made nothing. Bummer. So in the 2nd week, whatever I get to add plus 20 to it. So I'm going to do this again. So, because I want to try to make up for that crappy week where I had the big bar brawl. That's why I lost money. I'm going to say that. All right, so here we go. Minus 3, so 19 minus 3 is 16. 16 plus my 20 for that rousing performance. So that gives me, 2 more points of influence. So now my influence is at 12. All right. Good, so that's 30 gold. So we're getting there. So we're going to have some money to do some upgrades, I hope. All right, so let's go ahead and generate some adventures here. Here we go, the legend generator. So we're going to need a D66. So one of these is going to be the 10s. So we'll make the whites the 10s and the reds the 1s. All right, so once upon a time, there was a 54. A cruel. Oh, how many legends did I hear first? We'll do a die 2. So I'm going to hear 2 legends. So, okay, so legend 1, a cruel 25, cruel bandit, we'll say. Sought so cruel bandit, looking for love. I don't know why I keep getting that on that roll. Last 2 adventures had love for that as well. Because of 25, a prophecy. Ooh. Okay. And then he traveled to, he, she, I'm still not sure, traveled to a ruin. 43, a few days away, in some 54, in a dark forest. Ooh. Okay. And what direction is it? Oh, I only need a die 8 for this. Let's get a die 8 out. 6. Southwest. Okay. As the legend says, 26, he was never seen again. Oh, okay. And that there is 45, a lost war chest. War chest. I like that. But also, 25, cruel what? What do we got? 43, cruel iron guards. Now, I'll have to go back and see what iron guards are in Forbidden Lands, but I'm going to say like it's like a stone soldier, a golem, just the iron in there. So yeah, that's what I'm going to say. Okay, so that was Legend 1. A cruel bandit looking for love because of a prophecy traveled to a ruins a few days away in a dark forest southwest of here. He was never seen again. Rumor says that there is a lost war chest there, but also a cruel iron guard. Okay, so let's see what Legend 2 is. So once upon a time, there was 44, a beautiful 45, a beautiful warrior. Okay, who was searching for 25, a friend in need. Okay, because of 42, because of some duty. Some duty. I'm just going to put some duty because it just sounds funnier for now. And travel to 53, a cave. Beautiful warrior. I'm going to say she traveled to a cave. Whereabouts? Located. Only need 1 die for this. 6, 4. Again, a few days on. And it's located in some 34 plains. We're in the plains. Okay, that's fair enough. What direction are these plains? 52 south. South of here. Okay. As the legend goes, it is said that 55, she was possessed. And that at that location is 36, invaluable book. Ooh, curious. But also 56, also insane. Insane. 22, slave traders. Wow, that took a dark turn fast. Okay, so Legend 2. A beautiful warrior looking for a friend in need because of some duty. She traveled to a cave located a few days away in the plains south of here. She became possessed and is protecting a valuable book, but also insane slave traders. So it kind of makes me think that, kind of makes me feel like her friend, whoever it was she was looking to help, it was, you know, kidnapped and became a slave or something like that. And she was trying to go there to free her friend, but somehow just became evil. All right, so what does that mean for me? Well, seems like there'd be more reward for going to Legend 2, but I think I'm going to have to go with Legend 1. So the Iron Guards most likely killed the bandit, but there's this lost war chest, which could have some really good gold, and money, money, money is what we want. Okay, so I've already stocked up on all my supplies. I'm good to go. I should cross off my plus 20 to generate capital, because that is done. Okay, so going southwest is what I believe I said. So let's double check here. I'm going to underline southwest, few days, and a ruin in a forest. In fact, where is my pen? Right there. So, we're traveling to a ruin, a few days away in a forest southwest of here. Okay, so we do have a forest already. Now, I'm not going to use difficult terrain rules for today's game. Maybe I'll flesh that out a bit more a little later, but for now, I just don't feel like I want to do that until I learn if this movement system is going to work. So, I'm going to move into the forest. Now, I'm traveling through it. This is already explored area, so I'm going to give it, I want to say it's got roads, sort of thing. And there is something in here about traveling with roads. All right, so I'm just going to say the standard movement rules are going to apply. So I'm just traveling through. So let's get our trusty representation of who we are out on the map here. So we are starting in Great Barrow, and we have moved into the forest. When we move into an area, we do need to roll up whether or not a random encounter takes place. So right now, it's going to be a 50-50 chance. Okay, 50 that nothing happens, 25 and 25, it's either going to be a hazard or a monster. So let's take a peek here. Moving into the forest. 53, we have a hazard that takes place in the forest. Bummer. Okay, so it looks like I'm going to go to the core rulebook on this hazard. So looks like 424 to 433. Okay, so it said that there was hazards here, but I'm not really seeing a lot to pick from. In addition to these hazards, you might use an environmental danger that's suitable for the current terrain. Oh, I see, okay. So I gotta basically pick one if I think one's suitable. So I'm in the forest. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it looks like there's about 4 possible terrain descriptions for the forest. So I'm gonna roll a 1 die 4 and see which one of these comes up. So it's coming up as a 2. Undergrowth, okay. Okay, so basically what it's saying is that there's a lot of undergrowth which would hurt movement, but provide some cover in the case of battle. Let's go to the Mythic Emulator cards and see what 2 description words they're going to give me for this. So I got foolishly harsh. What could be foolishly harsh? So I'm going to say that because there's a lot of undergrowth from the core rulebook there, and because it was foolishly harsh, I think what's happened is that I'm traveling through this forest, which is the first time I've ever traveled into this forest here, and I stumble or trip, and I'm going to lose some rations. Does that sound right? Okay, so let's say that. I'm going to lose some rations. Now, the question is, do I lose rations or do I lose money? So let's go with what would be the worst case scenario for me? I guess rations would be the worst case scenario. So do I lose rations? I'm going to give it a 50-50 chance. No, so I lose money. Okay, so let's say we lose 1 die 6 money. That sounds fair. I lost 3. So as I was going through, I tripped and ended up losing 3 in some sort of like boggy swamp sort of thing, and the coins go, and no, at least my clothes aren't dirty. I'm a bard after all. Okay, so that was 1 day's worth of travel, so I should cross off 1 day's worth of rations. Actually forgot to mark it down that it replenished, so we'll go 1 day worth of rations. That was the hazard roll for that particular hex. So, did that take the full day though? I don't think so. I think we should be able to move into the next one. So let's go and roll it up. So the random terrain generator, we are rolling a die 20 to see what this next hex is right here. So we are looking at, wow, that jumped right out. 5 hills. So we've got hills here. This is just my little thing to generate hills. Okay, so I'm moving into the hills. What type of terrain is it? Let's see here. 4, it's got a feature in the hills. Okay, so let's take a look at what that means. The hex might be the site of a famous historical battle or the burial mound of a long-dead chieftain. It provides a commanding view of the surrounding region and is as useful as a waypoint. Survival checks to avoid getting lost or becoming unlost in this hex gains a bonus of +1. Okay, so we're on this hill. I want to know more about this hill. What does this hill look like? Let's take a look at the Lazy DM handbook now. Okay, so what's on this hill? Let's find out. We're going to go with a random monument because it did say that there was something to be found here. So we're going to go with the die 20 for the first one. So we find 18, a demonic. Ooh, already we're up to kind of a bad thing. Well, not necessarily. So we got something that's demonic up there, and it's gore covered. So what type of, let's see, unusual effect. Okay, do I want to add it? Nah, it says acid, but I'm not going to add it because it's supposed to be like a safe place. I found something good. So the monument structures, what type of structure is it? It is 45. It is a barrow. You know what? I'm going to re-roll this. Let's see. 84. It's a mirror. Oh, okay. Demonic gore-covered mirror. So I'm thinking, whatever it is, it's kind of like shiny. Okay, well. So, in the hills, we found a feature, and that feature is this demonic gore-covered mirror, which allows us to see everything around us. That's good. So, interesting. So that's going to be my full day of travel. So that would have been 5 hours to move into here, and then another 5 hours. So I'd have to stop at 8. So I'd have to use half a day to get out of here, and then another day to get in here. So it was 1 day to travel there and setting up camp. Now, how do I want to do nighttime? So I'm going to leave my chaos factor as 5. And I'm going to say that it is very unlikely that anything happens because of my ability to look over top of this hill to see what's there. So that means if I go my 50-50, very unlikely. I have to draw 3 cards. The top half, all of them have to be yes. If any of them come up no, I stop. So here we go. Do I get an encounter or ambush at night? So the first one is no, so that's done. But now I get a random event. Because my chaos factor is a 5 and a random event between 4 and 9. So what is the event focus? Introduce a new NPC. Okay, Scarlet Heroes. I feel like Scarlet Heroes hasn't been getting much love so far this game. So let's see here. I got an NPC. I don't know much about the NPC. I'm going to go with the NPC reaction here. So I got 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to go a die 3. So it is 3. So it's an unfriendly NPC. Okay. And let's find out about what this is like. So 65. So it's 11 actually. So he's in grudging agreement. Okay. So he's not happy. And he's in grudging agreement. Okay, so he doesn't want to agree with me, but he does. Let's see what we can learn about him here. So let's go with D100. So his memorable traits, or I don't even know if it's a him yet, 34. Covered in tattoos. 71, patient, covered in tattoos, and its immediate desire is 93, spying on a person. Okay, interesting. So what I know about this creature, or this person, so there's an NPC, unfriendly, grudging agreement, covered in tattoos, patient, and spying on someone. Okay, so that tells me a lot about the character. Let's go back to the Fable tables here, or table fables, I should say, and roll up a bit more about. So let's first find out the gender. And I'm just going with the male or female gender here. So it's saying 2, so it's a male. Well, he is 3, old. What race is it? 1, human. Okay, so he's a human. Don't know if I care about occupation at the moment. Well, let's see. 3, so he's a shop worker. He looks like a shop worker. I don't know. I don't see how that's beneficial to my story. So he's tall. His alignment, I don't know. I don't really like rolling alignment, but just in case it comes in handy, he's lawful evil. His body type is average. Okay. And clothing, 5, decorative clothing. So I'm getting the idea that he's like old, wealthy, into like magic. I mean, why else would he be staring at a demonic, gore-covered mirror? I'm guessing that the mirror is going to allow him to spy on whoever he's looking through, kind of like a mirror on the wall sort of thing. So don't care about sexuality or romantic status. Let's see if there's any real notable feature about the guy. So let's go with the die 12. 4. Mismatched eyes. Ooh. So one's one color, one's another color. Very interesting. Now, I already know he's spying on somebody, but I got a couple of things here, secrets and goals. I'm just kind of curious if this will help flesh out the story a bit. So 2, he is desiring financial gain. Okay. And 16, because he's dying of an illness. Okay, so last thing I need to know is a name for him. So male names. So we got a D100. Yeah. 19. Okay, so Derwin. At least this is how he introduces himself. Derwin, let's give him a title. Strong Dog. Darwin Strong Dog. Sounds about right for this type of character, I'm thinking. All right, so that was my heater just kicking on. You'll probably hear some banging. I apologize. It's cold in Canada. Okay, so while I'm on this hill, I discovered this mirror that's this demonic looking mirror. I'm kind of thinking like, almost looking like one of those portals from Elder Scrolls Morrowind, the Oblivion Gate sort of thing. It's got like a lot of spikes around the frame, and it's kind of rounded, and definitely can't tell what sort of wood the frame is made out of, not sure. But either way, there's this demonic gore-covered mirror, so it's splattered with gore. I'm thinking it means that the mirror itself, not just the frame is covered in gore, but the mirror's got like stuff splattered all over it. And there's this NPC who I walk up upon. He's unfriendly, so I'm thinking unfriendly doesn't mean he's hostile. I don't think it means he's angry. I just think it means he just wants to be left alone. He's so focused on using this mirror that even though he's on this hill and he can see me coming, he didn't care. And he decided that, he's focused on this thing. But it's getting nighttime now. So he's going to grudgingly agree to set up a camp with me overnight. And we're going to talk. We're going to get to learn a bit about each other. So as we're camping and we're, eating rations and so forth, he starts telling me about this mirror. Now, I noticed that he's covered in tattoos. He's definitely using it to spy on somebody. And I think I'm going to ask him if he wants to tell me about, as I approached him for the first time, I saw him looking in the mirror and I could see him seeing somebody in the mirror. So I think I'm going to ask him to talk a bit about who's in the mirror, because I do know that from this that he's going to be telling me stuff about the reason why he's lawful evil. Don't like alignments so much, but I do find that they can be used to help flesh out a bit about the motivation of characters rather than sticking to them. So he plays by the rules, but he doesn't show any mercy or compassion. He's definitely not doing something good, so I don't think he'd be very forthcoming about telling me who that person is he's looking at. So I'm going to say, can I convince him to tell me about who he was spying on? I'm going to say it's very unlikely that he's actually going to tell me, because he's lawful evil and he's spying, right? So I'm going to say he's not going to tell me that. But so we're saying very unlikely, which means I got to draw 3 cards. All of them have to be yes. So we got a no. So exceptional no. So he shoots that down. I ask him, so, I saw you're looking at somebody there. Like, who were you looking at? And he's going to just shoot me down right away. No, I'm not talking to you about that. Now, is he outright hostile? I mean, he's unfriendly, but he's only looking out for himself. So I think he's going to sit there and say something along the lines, he's going to lie to me and say something along the lines of, he approached the mirror and he saw a reflection that wasn't his own in the mirror. And he was fascinated by this, by this image. And when David approached him from behind, the image sort of faded away. But he's not going to tell me who he was looking at for, or looking at in the mirror. That's going to be his secret. I mean, hey, I don't know. He does tell me that he's on a mission to try to find wealth to help cure whatever is ailing him. Does he know what disease he has? I'm going to say it's likely, but the real question is, will he tell me? I'm going to say, does he try to keep his secret? Because again, I want answers that are going to hinder my story, not help my story. Yes, this should be bad. So does he not talk about his illness? Like, does he not tell me what the illness is? I'm going to say it's rather likely that he's not. So I'm going to go to any yeses, stop it. So I got no and a no. So he's actually going to tell me about his story. Yeah, so he's going to tell me about his disease. He's got some horrible disease that's killing him. He's dying of an illness. So what sort of illness could it be? Now, I think I got some rules for diseases in one of these books. Let's see here. I'm going to the Table Fables. Disease generator, page 71. So what sort of symptoms is he having? Okay, so we got to go with D20 here. So 10, heart palpitations. So how severe are these heart palpitations? 9, they're very common to him. Okay, so, and the name is going to be a D12 and a D6. So it's called the Black Infection. So I'm going to say that this black infection is actually going to be like a blood thing. His blood is poisoned. And he's looking into this mirror because he wants to find some sort of cure. He saw somebody that either he knows or he doesn't know, but he's not telling us because he doesn't trust us. Very interesting. We now need to figure out if there's a way of helping him. So this mirror, what can he tell me about the mirror? Will he tell me something about the mirror? I'm thinking he's not. But I can go and examine the mirror, and let's see if I can do an intelligence check to determine What would it be? Would it be intelligence? Would it be survival? Knowledge. You know what? I'm going to say it's actually a knowledge arcana check. Yeah. And so I think I need to know, do I know about this mirror? So let's do that. So knowledge arcana, so I get a +4. What's my difficulty check going to be? Ooh. Let's make it a 12. I'm going to pull out Index Card RPG difficulty check. By the way, check out Index Card RPG, great game system. And I'm going to say it's a standard 12 check. So here I go, +4. Do I know about this? 16 +4 is 20. So yes, I know about this mirror. I mean, why wouldn't I know about the mirror? It's right there beside Great Barrow. Okay, so now I want to see here. How do I help this guy? Do I want to recruit him? He's not telling me much about himself. He's dying of this heart condition. We don't have healers in Great Barrow, but he obviously knows some sort of mystic arts. If I can convince him, if we can try to like heal him, then maybe we can bring him back and he can start setting up like a apothecary or something in my town. Yeah. Okay, so I think right now the main goal is to try to recruit this guy, bring him back. You know, this is 2 days of going on missions, or 2 adventures that I've gone on and never actually made it to the destination. I have a funny feeling I'm not making it to this destination either, but that's okay. I should definitely put Demonic Mirror in here. All right, so does he know what the cure is? How about that? I'm going to say he probably does. Okay, well, let's just do a 50-50. Does he know what the cure is? An exceptional no. So he really has no idea how he's going to cure himself, and that's why he went to this mirror. So I want to see if I can't look into the mirror myself and try to help. But it's a demonic gore-covered mirror, which means the guy's going to stop me, and he's lawfully evil. He's not about breaking rules and stuff, but he does only want it for himself. The gore on the mirror literally has to be the blood of the person who's trying to use the mirror. That's what this gore is. The tattoos and all that on him are I'm going to say they're kind of like leaking blood, where he's trying to cut himself, maybe scarification a bit to put on the mirror. So he has no idea what's going to cure him. I mentioned that we got Great Barrow nearby and that we got a lot of adventures coming through. Maybe we can use these adventures. We'll have an idea about this. The mirror is obviously not helping him. So, see, the thing is, I think he knows. But does he know about... Yeah, see, this is where I'm going to start keeping lists for the next game, because there's a very strong possibility that the person that he was spying on could have been this woman that we just got into town. You know, well, let's find out whether or not he will come back to Great Barrow with me. And I really would like him to come back. Does he choose to continue on his adventure without me? I'm going to say it's a 50-50. Yes, he's going to leave. He's not sticking around. So nightfall happens, morning comes, and I look around and Derwin's missing. He's gone. So that's disappointing. So let's continue and see if we can't find this ruin. So we're still moving southwest. So now we are going to be crossing over into a different page. So let's map this page out proper. So if we're moving southwest, we're going to be moving here. So this is going to be to page 3. So 1, 2. So I'm technically moving into this hex here. Okay, so I'm standing right there. And let's see. Die 20. So we are looking for a forest. Come on, forest. 17. So it's the same as the previous terrain. So it's hills again. And what sort of features does it have? 9. It's a hunting ground. Okay. This hex is cut with valleys and trenches and obscures predator from view. The chance of a random encounter now increases by 25%. Okay, so the random encounter jumps by 25%. So, wow, that's pretty brutal. The random encounter table is a D100, and the likelihood of it going up goes up by 25%, which means that I should literally just have to add 25, because 25 of 100 is 25%. So that means it would definitely increase the hazard in monsters while decreasing the no encounters. So let's see here, adding 25, so I'm actually at 80, so that would put us at 105. So that gives us a monster. We're going to be having a monster attack. Yay. Okay, so it's the hunting grounds, man. We just walked into a hunting ground. Let's go with the Lazy DM workbook here, and we want to go with the monster table. Okay, so I'm going to be going level 1, and I'm going to roll a die 20 here to see which table I'm on. I'm on table 14, so that's table 1. Okay, and then I use this. So 15 giant frogs in the hills. All right, so I'm at this hunting ground of this giant frog. We are in the hills. Using the combat rules of Scarlet Heroes is a little different, but it makes it so you can fight a group of monsters using just one player, so that's what I'm going to use. This creature looks like a normal frog with moist, molted, blackish green skin, but grown to truly monstrous size. So it's a medium-sized animal. It's a CR1. It's got 2 hit dice. HD is going to be 2. So no free die on my attack, unfortunately. It's AC 12, but touches 11. We'll go with 12 for now. And its attacks. And so it's a bite of +3, which does D6. And then grabs. Giant frogs have razor-sharp teeth lining their mouth. They are 6 feet long, weigh 200 pounds. Oh my goodness. This is going to be interesting. So, I got to set this battle. One sec. Okay. So, I'm over this way, and all of a sudden, this huge frog just sort of jumps out of the water and tries to attack me. Now, I believe his tongue's got a reach. A giant frog's tongue is its primary attack, and reach is equal to 3 times the frog's normal reach, 15 feet for a medium giant frog. 15 feet. So he doesn't even need to get out of the water. I think he's actually going to stay in the water and try to ambush me. Now, according to Scarlet Hero rules, I actually get to go first every single time. You never really roll initiative. The hero always goes first. It's important in bigger battles. This one, not so much. Now, but if I'm surprised, it doesn't count. So what am I going to do about that? I'm going to say, I got a random encounter. This frog comes out of the water and tries to attack me. Now, I'm going to have to say that I'm probably going to be surprised on this one. So I'm going to do a perception check with a DC 15 on this. So my perception, actually I have a +6 on that. That didn't land on my, come on. There we go. So no, I did not see it. So I'm going to give the frog the first attack on me. This was a surprise attack. So the frog's going to attack. His tongue attack. Wow, he's got to swallow whole. I really hope he doesn't swallow me whole. Okay. His tongue's not going to do any damage to me, but I'm sitting here minding my own business when all of a sudden this tongue comes flying out of the water and hits him and then pulls me, because I believe it can pull. I'm going to double check the rules for grab, because it's saying it doesn't grapple me, but I thought grabs always grapple. Oh, pull. Okay, so his tongue comes out and grabs me, and then it pulls me 5 feet. So that would pull me to here. Okay, so now I'm aware that, oh my goodness, this thing's like on me. I'm going to use my quick action to pull out my weapon, and then I'm going to attack him. So I've got my longsword. I'm going to pull out my longsword, and I'm going to attack this tongue. I believe it says the tongue has a 1 hit point, but it's got, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to, got my sword out, and I'm going to hack at this tongue that's got me. All right. So using my my longsword, no base attack bonus. So it's just this +1, okay? And I got to hit an armor class of 12 on his tongue. No, the tongue is 10. I read that. Okay, so here we go. 16. So I hit the tongue and dealing a 1d8 of damage. So the damage in Scarlet Heroes is a little different. If you roll, like even after you hit, you then have to apply your damage. You roll your damage dice like normal, but if you roll a 1, it actually does no damage. If you roll 2 through 6, I believe it was, I actually, here's the thing about this, is I literally chopped up this book. Well, I didn't chop it up, but I did go into this game and write down my rules on my book. So, if it's in the book, it's in the game. So if I roll a 1, I do no damage. If I roll 2 through 5, I deal 1 damage. If I roll a 6 through 9, I deal 2 damage. And then if I deal 10 plus, I deal another 4 damage. I get to add my strength modifier to it, so I could possibly kill this frog with 1 hit if I'm lucky. So let's find out. So 7. So I deal 2 damage plus my strength modifier. So actually, I believe all that did is up it to 8, so I deal 2 damage to it. So the frog gets its tongue on me and goes to pull me in, and I pull out my sword, and I literally slash its tongue right off. And the frog starts bleeding out and takes off, and it's gone. Now I got this frog tongue, which I think I should barbecue and eat. So I got really lucky on that surprise attack. The other game I did not fare so well. I still won the fight, but it was a bigger ambush. So I kill a frog. Oh, just any frog. A giant frog, which gives me 400 XP on that guy. Okay, mark that down for a little bit later. And I'm also going to give myself XP for... do I give myself XP for that encounter with Derwin? I don't think so. So if it was half a day in here, because there was a 5, I'm going to give myself a hex and a half, 2 hexes a day, basically. So this was my first hex. So got to go southwest. I think I'm going to travel to this one here and just see what that's going to get me. So here we go. So I'm moving into this hex here, and let's see what type of hex it is. I'm looking for forest. Instead, I got water. Oh, okay. So let's see what type of water it is. It is going to be 12, a resource. Oh, okay. So let's go to water, resource, fish, shellfish, and pearls are plentiful in this hex. So there's water here. So that doesn't really help me. I could stock up my water supply, but the way my rations are set up, I don't actually really need to do that. And I don't want to move into this water hex here, but water on a hex doesn't necessarily mean the whole thing's filled with water. It just means that there's some sort of water. I mean, even in the map here, it shows that there's water sort of going through hills. So in this case here, this would be water sort of mixed with the hills. So I'm going to go into there, and now I got to determine if there is a random encounter in the water area. Here we are. 79. It's a monster. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a monster, all right. Now, I think I want to see if there's a CR1 monster in my new Bestiary Book 5. So I'm going to look this up, monster types by CR, page 314. So I'm looking for a CR1. Let's see, and I'm going with water. So let's see, is there a Satus? Hunter Urchin. Okay, so a Hunter Urchin is a CR1 that takes place in temperate water. So a Hunter Urchin. This will be interesting. So Hunter Urchin I thought would be good, but it's not. It's actually for if I was swimming in the water, and that doesn't help. So let's see if there's anything else here. Well, there's like a deep one here. Let's see what deep one is. All right, I'm going back to the Lazy DM's workbook. All right, so let's see here. What type of table am I using? I'm using 7, so table 1 again, and 9. Tribal Warrior. Okay. I don't believe that is actually going to be in here. Oh, I think there's rules for creating a monster here, right? So Tribal Warrior is sitting at this watering hole. I'm not sure if he's protecting it or not, but he's hostile for sure. So he's going to have, he's a CR1, so he's going to have, here we are, so he's humanoid CR1, so he's got a hit dice of 2. Okay. So he's going to have an armor class of 12. What sort of abilities does he going to have? So he's a tribal warrior, so I'm going to say that he's going to deal a D6. He's got a sword, tribal warrior, so I'm guessing he's got more like a spear. So he's got like a ranged attack to him, so he's got a spear. And that is going to use his strength modifier. Hit die times that, so he's going to get a plus 3 D8, a D6 for damage. Okay. So it's water area. So let's say we're moving southwest. So let's just say that the water comes around to here like so. And we'll say that there's a makeshift bridge going across here. We're still in the hills. So this area is hills, and I'm not really sure what's going to be over this way. But we definitely have like shallow areas there. And I approach from over this way, and I see this tribal warrior. I'm not sure if they're reptilian or not, but I'm going to say reptilian, and who's sort of guarding the bridge. Now, the question is, can I intimidate him to make him move aside and leave, or does he just straight up try to attack? I want to try to scare him off. So I'm going to give this a very hard, I'm going to give this an 18 for an intimidation check. I got a 6. Let's see, can I do it? 11 and 6 is 17, so no, I do not. In fact, my intimidation actually pisses him off. And he's got a spear, which has a reach on it, I believe. Let's take a look at the reach on a spear. Trident. Range of 10 feet. All right. So he can literally hit me twice. So I'm going to pull out my bow and try to use my short bow to hit him, because he's starting to charge at me. I can tell. I tried to intimidate him. All I did was piss him off, and now he's running at me. So I got to try to use my my bow on him. So with my dex bonus of +2, it's 11. His armor class is 12, so I actually miss. And I'm going to use my other quick action to switch weapons to my sword, because he's on me now. I know he is. His movement's going to be a base 30 movement, so he's going to 1, 2, 3. Oh, but he's got a range. Did I say 10? I said 10 feet. So he's going to want to get just within 10 feet of me. So That'd be 5 and then 10. Yeah, so it'd actually be, yeah, I'm going to say he's there. And then he's going to try to attack me with his spear. So he gets +3 on his attack. And my armor class is 14. So he hits, well, he tries to hit, but he rolls a 5. So he's like, throws his trident at me, and I kind of move out of the way. Now, I want to get close to this guy to try to limit his ability to hit with the spear or the trident. So I'm going to run up to him so that way we're within. And I'm going to try to hit him with my sword. 17 plus 1 is 18, so I definitely hit him. And let's see how much damage I'm able to do. And here we go. Die 8, so I roll a 6. There it is. So 6 is 1 damage. No, 6 is 2 damage, actually. That's right. So I run up to him and I slice him down and he dies. Ugh. Dead. All right, so I'm standing over his body, victorious. Let's clean this off again. So you can see how the Scarlet Hero rules works good. You'll see it being more effective when we actually start encountering groups of monsters rather than just one. At this point, I feel like we are not making any progress on trying to get to the forest. So definitely have to camp out here. And so I need to cross off yet another day's worth of rations. And I feel like I need to head back. The whole point of this game is to try to start and end in the Stronghold, and I need to wrap up the game. So I'm going to use the travel times to move through 2 hexes, random event, and then back again. So I want to loot the body on the tribal warrior. That's what I need to do. So how do I figure out what type of gold he has? Because I want to make sure. Lizard Folks, 195. So I should have went with Lizard Folk right off the bat instead of rolling up. God, but let's see how I did for, so I did the hit points right. Oh, he had Javelin for range. That's okay. Ecology, special abilities. So he actually has no treasure on him, but I'm saying he's kind of a warrior. So I'm going to say, I'm going to say he's got some gold on him. So I'm going to go 1 die 6 times 10 gold. 3. So 30 gold I found on him. Really? Do I want to say that? I'm going to say he had 3 gold on him. Die 6 worth of gold. That sounds about right. So that actually puts me at 34. Okay. So we mapped out. I think my movement of mapping out will be good for anything that's been explored. Anything that's unexplored, we'll be using the Pathfinder rules. That's how I think I'm going to continue moving forward. But I feel like time's running short, so... Okay, so I'm going to say halfway through at the Demonic Mirror, let's roll up and just see if there's a random encounter at the mirror. 5, nope. So my original rules for movement was to basically move a hex at 2 miles, or a hex is 2 hours, basically. So a day's worth of travel is 8 hours. That would be 2, 4, 6, 8, back to Great Barrow. And that would be yet another day's worth of rations. So that was 3 days of adventuring away. I might make a little follow-up video sort of explaining the rules a bit more about what I'm doing, not just for you, but also for me. I think it was a pretty successful run. I don't think I'm going to lower my chaos factor. I might, but I may actually start throwing in some plot devices from Mythic into the game. So that way I can keep track of threads, which I will talk about next video if that's the case. As for the meantime right now, I am back into the town of Great Barrow. I'm setting up shop, tuning up my loot, and getting ready to perform for my audience. Yes, that means you.